This video is brought to you by Captivating History. The medieval era, also known as the Middle Ages, started around 500 CE and lasted until 1500 CE. Sometimes referred to as the Dark Ages, it is the period of history between the fall of the Roman Empire and the rise of the Italian Renaissance. It is thought that this age lacked scientific and cultural advances. However, many great empires ruled throughout this millennium. Here are the top 10 most important empires in medieval history. Number 1. China. China remained a powerful empire throughout the medieval period. While it was largely peaceful at this time, the country's sheer size meant that internal conflicts and rebellions were inevitable. During this time, 5 powerful dynasties emerged: the Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan, and Ming dynasties. The Sui dynasty ruled from 581 CE and is the best known for unifying China after a period of division. They undertook significant infrastructural projects such as the Great Wall and the Great Canal. These projects ultimately led to their downfall due to the required human resources, and in 618 CE, the dynasty collapsed. The Tang dynasty brought consistent economic growth despite internal conflicts within the royal family. Ruling an empire that covered over 2.1 million square miles proved to be too difficult a task, and the central government was unable to stop rebellions in many provinces. The Song dynasty created China's first naval force. They lasted for over 3 centuries and perhaps would have ruled for longer if it wasn't for the Mongol invasion of the 13th century. But more on the Mongols later in the video. Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler, established the Yuan dynasty. This dynasty ruled over a whopping 4.2 million square miles, making it the biggest empire in medieval China. China experienced a population boom during this time. The Yuan dynasty came to an end in 1368 due to numerous rebellions and natural disasters. The Ming dynasty is regarded as one of the most powerful empires in history. They ruled for the remainder of the medieval period and beyond, and provided their people with constant economic growth and political stability. Number 2. The Byzantine Empire. This empire lasted from approximately 395 to 1453 CE. It was located around the Mediterranean Sea. The lands it ruled included modern-day Greece, Italy, Turkey, and parts of the Middle East and North Africa. The Byzantine Empire was the eastern half of the Roman Empire and continued to exist after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The empire received its name after the ancient Greek colony of Byzantium, but citizens of this empire would have identified themselves as Romans. Emperor Constantine built up the old port of Byzantium into a bustling metropolis in just 6 years. While he called it New Rome, it became known as Constantinople. Byzantium's military success was predominantly down to the fabled Greek fire. The Byzantium army used this ancient form of napalm to set enemy ships and troops ablaze. Accounts of the thick, sticky substance tell that once it was alight, not even water would extinguish it, and it is said to have been able to burn on the surface of the sea. Perhaps fortunately, the recipe for Greek fire was lost in the annals of history. The Ottoman Turks brought down the Byzantine Empire in 1453. Number 3. The Caliphate. After the death of Muhammad in 632 CE, Arab leaders were called caliphs. In 762 CE, caliphs built the city of Baghdad, which became a center for learning. Scholars made scientific discoveries and translated texts. The period from the 7th to the 13th century CE is heralded as the Golden Age of Islam. People of many cultures and religions collaborated in the pursuit of knowledge. From 750 CE to 1258 CE, the lands of the Abbasid dynasty, who built Baghdad, extended from the west coast of Africa across the northern shore and covered most of the Middle East. This period was an age of advancements in science, medicine, and art. It ended with the Mongolian sack of Baghdad in 1258. Number 4. The Vikings. Few civilizations invoke the same mix of awe and fear as the Vikings. To be clear, they are included on this list under the recognized moniker of Viking, meaning pirate, but we are really talking about the natives of Scandinavia, otherwise known as Northmen. While there may be some dispute about whether you can class them as an empire, their impact on the medieval world is undeniable. During the Viking era, 793 to 1066 CE, they dominated Northern Europe, and their influence reached as far as Russia, North Africa, and Asia. They sailed the North Atlantic, discovering and settling major islands, and they were even able to set up colonies in areas of North America. Number 5. The Holy Roman Empire. In 797 CE, Emperor Constantine VI was replaced as ruler by his mother, Empress Irene. Western Europe did not recognize Irene as the leader of the empire, and Pope Leo III proclaimed Charlemagne, the king of the Franks, as the emperor of the Romans. This action led to a dispute as to who was the true Roman emperor. Was it the Byzantine emperors of Constantinople or the Holy Roman emperors of modern-day Germany and Austria? Although the two emperors acknowledged each other's empire, they would never refer to their rivals as Romans. Instead, the Holy Roman Emperor was known as the King of the Franks. The Byzantine Emperor was referred to as the Emperor of the Greeks. As the Pope supported the Holy Roman Empire, this one was more closely related to religion. The Holy Roman Emperor ruled over most of Western and Central Europe until 1806 CE. It styled itself in the traditions of the ancient Roman Empire and saw itself as the ultimate authority of Christendom. Number 6. The Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire in 1206. You may have noted the extent of their reign, as they have already been mentioned twice on this list. The Mongol Empire covered 9 million square miles at its peak, making it the largest empire connected by land. It is common knowledge that the Mongol Empire had a mighty military force, but it is less well known that a system of rapid communication aided this army. Genghis Khan set up postal stations every 20 to 30 miles throughout his empire to relay important information quickly. A man on horseback would ride to the closest station, where he would find food, board, and rested horses. He could either pass his message to a new rider or pick up a new horse and continue himself. The Mongols also had paper currency, which was completely unknown in medieval Europe. While they were fierce warriors, the Mongols relied on diplomacy and trade to strengthen their empire. They granted diplomats worldwide a piazza, an engraved piece of precious metal that acted as a diplomatic passport. Under the Mongols, the Silk Road flourished, aiding the exchange of culture and goods between the West and China. Number 7. The Mali Empire. This West African empire was founded around 1000 CE. It was established by King Sundiata Keita, otherwise known as the Lion King. The Mali Empire introduced the Islamic faith to West Africa, as well as bringing wealth and culture. At its largest, the empire encompassed modern-day Senegal, southern Mauritania, northern Ghana, Mali, the Gambia, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast. Salt deposits and an abundance of gold dust gave the empire considerable commercial assets, and the Malian city of Timbuktu became an important center of knowledge. The most famous ruler of the Mali Empire was Mansa Musa, widely known as the wealthiest person in history. Musa ruled the empire from 1312 CE to 1337 CE, and his displays of wealth became the stuff of legends. Number 8. The Kingdom of France. The Kingdom of France lasted from 843 CE to 1791 CE. France was a feudal system, meaning barons controlled their own land, but were ultimately supposed to be loyal to the king. These local landowners often took responsibility for defending France's borders from invading forces like the Magyars from the east and the Muslims on the Mediterranean coast. Of all the invaders, the Northmen were the most destructive. Between 856 CE and 860 CE, they continuously invaded, reaching as far inland as Paris. After 896 CE, they settled in the lower Seine Valley and became part of the French kingdom, forming the Duchy of Normandy. The most famous of the Norman rulers was William the Conqueror, who would become the King of England in 1066. During the early medieval era, France had the most powerful cavalry in the world. They crusaded in the Middle East and were at near constant war with England to control lands in England and France. The Kingdom of France continued to expand until the 13th century, when it covered approximately the same territory that it does today. Number 9. The Republic of Venice. After the fall of the Roman Empire, refugees from mainland Italy fled to islands in the Venetian lagoon. Soon, they began to need more space and so built wooden platforms on top of wooden poles that they drove into the clay beneath the ground. It seems a miracle that this wood has supported the city streets since, but it is because the wood has been submerged in salt water, protecting it from decay and hardening it to a stone-like consistency. Modern-day Venice is slowly sinking, but this is mainly due to rising sea levels rather than subsidence. The most serene Republic of Venice was founded around 697 CE and lasted until 1797 CE. It was able to extend its jurisdiction into mainland Italy and some Aegean islands, including Crete and Cyprus. Due to its unique location, Venice thrived on business and had many trading outposts. It engaged in extensive trade with the Muslim world and had an effective naval force. One of Venice's most famous natives is Marco Polo. He traveled the Silk Road to China and was the first European to encounter the Mongols' use of paper money. By 1796, after many years of war, the Republic of Venice had depleted its war fleet, and the French, led by Napoleon Bonaparte, marched into neutral Venice during campaigns against the Austrians. As part of a peace agreement, on April 18, 1797, the Austrians were granted possession of Venice. Number 10. The Inca Empire. Without steel, iron, a system of writing, or the wheel, the Incas constructed one of the greatest imperial states in history. They founded their capital at Cuzco in modern-day Peru during the 12th century, and by the time the Spanish arrived in 1532, their empire extended through the Andean highlands and along the Pacific coast. While they left no written history, much of their legacy was preserved through oral traditions, passed down through the generations by official memorizers. The Incas were the first people to cultivate potatoes, and although their land was rich in gold, they used food and services as currency. They had an excellent road network that ran for 25,000 miles and made communication with faraway places extremely easy. They were excellent engineers and made rope bridges that enabled them to travel across deep canyons. The Incan Empire came to an end with the arrival of the Spanish, who brought with them both disease and superior weapons. I hope you enjoyed our list of top 10 medieval empires. Is there an empire you think we missed? If so, leave us a comment below. Tell us which empire you would have included and why. To learn more about medieval history, check out our book, The Middle Ages, a captivating guide to the history of Europe, starting from the fall of the Western Roman Empire through the Black Death to the beginning of the Renaissance. It's available as an ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Also, grab your free mythology bundle ebook while it's still available. All links are in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.